Today we are back in North Cascades National Park.
Now we're going to show you a couple of easy trails if you only have half a day or a quick day here.
This is actually our last day here and the last of our 3 video series on this park.
So in part 1, we did an epic hike where we took you up into the mountains. And in part 2, we spent the day at Diablo Lake where that bright blue, amazing colored water is, and spent the day paddle boarding and enjoying the beach. Today, it's all about what do you do if you only have a half day or you're not up for an all-day event. Go to the overlooks, do the scenic highway, and do some of these shorter hikes. Let's show you. So the first stop is right off the scenic highway, and across this bridge over the Gorge Creek, you can come see a couple of waterfalls. So this bridge has a grate on it, and when that Airstream went by, it made this really loud noise. And I don't know if it's just going this way because we haven't heard it with the other vehicles coming by, but we all jumped. I think you must have seen that on the video. The kids almost fell off this log they were balancing on, and I almost jumped out of my skin. Let's see if this car does it. A little bit, but that Airstream was heavier. It must have really made a loud sound to startle all of us. So word of caution though, if you are afraid of heights, you do see what you're walking over and how high up you are. So maybe that cable somehow signified that the waterfall is on the other side of the bridge and you can't get there from here. Like, there's no walkway, there's no opening over there, so you have to go back and go on the other side, but you can park over here as overflow parking. So let's go back.
We did say we would show you all the neat places today, and maybe through trial and error we'll find the best way to get to them too.
And exactly how to do it so you don't make this mistake. So you can park on either side of the bridge, and you do want to check out both sides. You have the view of the lake on one side and then the view of the waterfall on the other, so it is worth being on both sides. Just know to cross on the far side, not over there. There you have it, crosswalk.
So here is Gorge Creek Waterfall on the proper side of the bridge.
Definitely worth a stop. I guess you can check it out as you cross the bridge, but that's not the safest way to do it. And it's easy to get to, so I would recommend this as a quick stop on your way through North Cascades National Park. Next is the Gorge Overlook Trail, just a quick paved walk up to the overlook. Oh yeah, there's a waterfall.
End of the paved section of this short trail here, and you can see the Gorge Dam down below. This one happens to be the smallest of the 3 dams in the area.
And we showed you the other 2 in our last video, but if you want, you can take this trail and it continues on and goes around in a loop, but for our little hike today, we're just gonna head back the way that we came. So depending on how much time you have, you can go out and back or you can take the loop around.
All the way down the scenic highway on the east side of the park lies Washington Pass Overlook. The pass is at 5,477 feet and features a short, paved walkway to breathtaking views.
Wow! Look the road!
Oh wow, is it right? Washington Overlook is amazing. The views from the main overlook and all the way along this path, I mean, arguably better than the views from that hike that we did the other day that we showed you. Definitely come out here, even though you're gonna have a further drive if you're coming from the east. Don't miss it. Washington Overlook, put it on your list. Wow. The kids say the best views from up here.
The views along the scenic highway are stunning in either direction. Just taking the time to drive the entire length of it through the park and pulling off at the various viewpoints is worth every minute. Don't miss the Visitor Center in Newhalem for information and exhibits. The town of Newhalem started as a construction camp in 1918 and is operated by Seattle City Light. From 1920 to 1940, the town was only really accessible by train. Old Number 6, a steam locomotive, is still on display here and used to carry materials, construction equipment, and workers to the area. The Skagit Information Center, located in the center of town, has more information on the area as well as a giant turbine runner on display out front.
So another option for a quick hike if you're in the area and you don't have a full day to commit to hiking, or you don't want to go up a lot of elevation change, is this Trail of the Cedars. And this is a short hike through western red cedars, and you start by going over this awesome suspension bridge.
And this is a really iconic place. You see pictures of this suspension bridge all over the place for the North Cascades region. And the other neat thing about this trail is they're all old growth cedar trees, so they're huge.
And going over the suspension bridge, you start by being able to check out the awesome bright blue river. What more could you want? This is gonna be good.
Let's go check it out.
We feel the movement a lot more on this suspension bridge than we have on others that we've been on in the past. So it's, you know, a little bit disconcerting in a way, but kind of fun. The rain has also started, so I'm glad to get under the canopy now.
So there was a fire here back in 1922, and it's really interesting because there's still a bunch of charred remains of trees sort of scattered about. I think what's really interesting about it is it doesn't look like it was really that long ago. Some of these charred remains of trees are just really well preserved, like they don't change at all over time. It's something else.
Mature western red cedar are actually hollow in the middle because there is a fungus that attacks the heartwood. So this one is a good example, and we're gonna go stick our heads inside and check it out. Pretty tight in there? Yeah. Who's brave enough to go in? Clara fits.
So this is a really worthwhile stop. The trail is super easy, it's nice and short, and all the signs are really informative, and it's actually really interesting. It tells you about the trees and about the different fires they've had here, and then the powerhouse. And I just always think dams are cool. I'm always kind of interested in giant machinery. It's always really interesting.
It really ties everything together that we saw up in the park with the other dams. Admittedly, we sometimes take the kids on hikes that definitely challenge them and us. So it's fun to be on a hike like this where they can run around and explore. We could take our time a little more. I mean, I am carrying this guy at the moment, but...
And then you turn the corner and this is probably the biggest tree on the entire trail here. that's it for Trail of the Cedars.
That was a great little hike. You should definitely stop here. Now it's on to our last hike, which also features a suspension bridge.
Let's go check it out. Here, behind the Gorge powerhouse, is Ladder Creek Falls, and at night they light it up for everybody to come see.
So you can come see Ladder Creek Falls during the day, or at night, or both, on your way into the park, out of the park, like we're doing. And it's a good opportunity to see the powerhouse, to learn about what they're doing here in the area with the dams, with the power, sending it all over to Seattle. It's really interesting. So it's another homeschooling lesson for the kids, and really interesting for us as well. Now we're gonna go behind us here and walk over the suspension bridge to get to the falls. That part alone got our attention, so the rest of it should be pretty neat too. So the interesting thing is, because we just showed you Gorge Dam earlier today, that is about 2.7 miles upriver behind the powerhouse, and the water from the Gorge Dam comes to this powerhouse through a 24.5-foot power tunnel. I mean, take a look at this picture. There's a guy, looks like a little guy, standing in a big tunnel. This thing looks massive. Just the engineering ingenuity that went into all of this is amazing. So from this map, the gardens seem more extensive than I realized. So it might be worth coming during the day too, so you can check out more of that, because for us, we're gonna mostly make our way straight to the falls. But these gardens apparently are on the National Register of Historic Places, and they were created by Seattle City Light's second superintendent. I guess he was very much interested in both electricity and gardening, so you have this interesting mix here.
So I'll admit, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect with all of this. It's been really neat so far. I think it's definitely worth seeing. I thought it might be a little hokey, but it's actually been kind of neat.
Because I'm wondering if you were thinking the same thing I was, that going into caves is awesome, but then when they light it up and try to make it all like...
Yes.
And not just light it up so you can see it, but light it up all different colors and maybe put like a fake dragon in there.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows what I'm talking about. And that can get a little much, but this is really well presented, I think really well done, and you learn the history of the place and you learn about the powerhouse. So all in all, very good.
So it's been fun. I would totally recommend doing this, coming out here, even though you have to keep your kids up past the bedtime. They're enjoying it. What do you think, Claire? How's it been?
Good.
Worth it. We just came down the trail. We didn't come back down the stairs. We finished the loop through the gardens, and it was quite dark. So if you don't have a flashlight, or you're not that sure of yourself in the dark, maybe come back the same way and hold on to the railing coming down the stairs. But it was neat going through the gardens and over several bridges, and then you come down next to the powerhouse, behind the powerhouse, and you get to walk along it back to the main trail, back over the bridge. All right, home stretch. We hope you guys enjoyed being at North Cascades National Park as much as we did. This concludes our time here in the park, and we did so many varied things. There's something here for everybody.
This park is really spectacular. The views are just all over the place. There's so much to do. It's just a huge park. There's a reason why they call it the American Alps. It really is that spectacular.
This has been on our bucket list for some time, and 3 years later, we finally got here.
Yeah.
So we're hoping you guys can make it here sometime as well, and maybe not have to wait as long. Our next videos will be all about Mount Rainier National Park, so we hope you stick around for that.
See you next time.
Bye guys. Next is the Gorge Trail.
Gorge Overlook Trail. Are you saying you're not brave enough to go in?
They're blocking the way.
That must be it.
I would have gone in, but scared me. I touched something. No. I don't want to go in, get stuck, not be able to come back out. All right, what kid is going to volunteer?
We'll just go in there. We'll get the butter.
What is the butter? What is the bottle?
You'd need some grease to slip out easier.
Oh, wow, this is amazing.